Next item is a public hearing item. Ms. Husking.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that Resolution 2009-057, allocation of community development block grant funds, be approved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Mr. Herwig.
Restrained members of the council, ladies and gentlemen, this is a public hearing on the allocation of the block grant funding. This comes around about every 2 years to the city. As the council knows, but in case somebody listening doesn't, this is not stimulus money. This is an ongoing program from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development that has been in place for many years. And as I said, about every 2 years, the city has an opportunity to apply for block grant funding. The focus of the funding, of course, is to benefit services and areas within the community that are predominantly low and moderate income. There's a public process that we go through. There's 2 public hearings that were held at which community organizations, groups that provide services or facilities can come and basically request funding under this program. We have been through that process, and based on the requests that the city received and the review of them by the staff, and then of course discussions at a council work session, the recommendation before you this evening is that the funding go for 3 projects. At this point, we have an estimate of funding which is approximately $325,000. So these are not exact figures at this point, but the first project would be for Good Neighbor Alliance in the amount of approximately $110,000 to purchase a manufactured home, which would become their service annex, in order that they could provide more bed space within their existing facilities to continue to serve their client population. The second area would be for the Cochise County Housing Authority. The city has done this before, and as the council knows, the County Housing Authority is the city's designated housing authority, and this would provide $110,000 for emergency repairs for approximately 10 homes within our community. And the final project would be $116,000 roughly for sidewalks on North Carmichael. This would be on the west side, the portion that's within the city between Tacoma and Whitten, in an area that currently has no sidewalks at all. So those are the 3 proposals that, if you pass this evening, would move ahead towards the state in which would be requesting funding. Kathy Calabrese, I saw earlier, is here from Good Neighbor Alliance. I'm sure if you have any questions on her project, she'd be glad to answer them.
Thank you. Any comments from council? All in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you. Under new business, item number 4, Ms. Doctor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that Resolution 2009-058, authorizing the submission of an amendment to the 2007 Community Development Block Grant Funding, contract number 142-08, be approved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Mr. Herwig, please.
Restrained members of the council, ladies and gentlemen, 2 years ago, the city received approximately $328,000 under our then block grant allocation, and at the time it was thought that the entire amount would be spent on a street improvement in the Fry Townside area. This was on a portion of Maccabee that the city had been working at that point in terms of a number of improvements in the Fry Townside area. As it turned out, of course, with the economy, construction costs went down dramatically, and the costs for doing that entire project were a fraction of what had been originally estimated, and so there was money left over. And what this resolution would do this evening is request an amendment to our original submittal to the state, and the proposal now is to construct at least probably 100 handicap ramps around the community. The first priority would be in the Southwest Sierra Vista Residents Association, which, as you know, is identified in the Drockman Housing Study as a target area. You have within your packet a list of the ones that are proposed, and it's a little hard to show on the screen, but basically they're divided up by location, specific site that would be at, and the use. In other words, some of these are streets that are providing access to schools, some are providing these handicap ramps would be within the target areas, some on a route to medical facilities, and some in Veterans Memorial Park. So there's a whole variety throughout this list of 100. And obviously, if the funding goes further than that, Chuck mentioned that the bids will come out on May 12th. If the funding goes further, we'll continue to do more.
Okay, thank you. Comments? Ms. Doctor?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, I am very pleased that we are applying for the CDB funds to be used on North Avenue. I know that their residents in that area have been concerned about that for many, many, many years, and I think they'll be very happy to find that we are going to be able to move forward on that. So I'm pleased about that, and I hope things go well. Thank you.
All in favor? It's unanimous.